Welcome to Crowned and Confident, the official podcast of the Sophia Project. I'm your host, Precious Berry, and I am thrilled to welcome you to our second episode. This series is dedicated to empowering and uplifting and celebrating the voices of young women who are boldly stepping into their power with confidence and purpose. Today, I'm honored to introduce our amazing guest, Miss Crystal Hardiman. Crystal is not only a dynamic leader, but also one of our distinguished honorees at the Little Black Dress Bruncheon. In our conversation, we'll explore what it means to navigate challenges with grace, embrace every facet of our strength, and what truly it means to wear our crowns with pride. So whether you're on the go, taking a moment to relax, or looking for that extra spark of inspiration, you're in the right place. Let's dive into it and let's crown and be confident together. Hello, Miss Crystal. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I love your introduction. Happy to be here.
Yes, I'm happy for you to be here. You are an amazing individual. I've been doing some of my research on you for the work that you have been doing in the community. Can you just briefly elaborate on who you are if some may not know and the work that you have been doing in the community?
Sure. I'm Crystal Hardiman. I am a director. I'm one of many directors. And Nestle Purina Pet Care. I've been there 28 years. Just celebrated my 28th um, service anniversary. And I I have an extensive career at Purina. I learned early in my career that I have a passion for and a gift for developing people. And so Purina has afforded me the opportunity to kind of grow in that gift. And as I think I became a senior leader maybe 10, 15 years ago. But I noticed in the room that when we were talking people and potential, like high potentials, people of color didn't really come up. They didn't come up at all, honestly. And I found myself wondering, we have a very diverse department. Why are we not talking about people of color? So I had a conversation with one of my coworkers. She and I are very like-minded, and we went to our department head and we said, "Hey, why don't we have conversations around people of color?" And he goes, Crystal, I don't know, but what should we do about it? And so, my coworker and I, we created this program, mentoring program. It was for our department for the sole purpose of getting people of color to understand that there's some things that we must do to be seen and be heard. And it's not just do our work and go home, right? And so, my department head gave us the flexibility to spend 4 hours a month with, like, I think it was about 20 people of color. They were Asian, they were African American, they were Hispanic. And we sat down and we talked about very candidly what we should be doing so that we can show that we are ready for the next step and we should be considered for promotions. We should be considered for the special projects because we weren't, right? But we weren't speaking up either. And so that first year we rolled that project off over it. I think there were like 22 people in the room. I think like 12 people ended up either getting promoted or awarded these special projects. So this program was very successful from the onset. And after year three in my department, I was invited to take it company wide. And so I get to is in its well, I should know this. We started it in 2012, I think. And so,
Mhm.
so now I get to mentor across the organization. We have factories all over the United States, and I really just get to mentor and pour into these people. And I love to see the success that comes out of it.
Yeah, it's very important that you hit on the notion of mentoring. As we know, mentoring is very vital, even to young people now in these days, that we need someone to help us get to the next level, or we may not be exposed to something. Having that support, having that mentorship to guide us to be creative in whatever space that we need to be in is very vital. And that just leads me to my next question of what does it mean to you as being honored for the Little Black Dress Bruncheon that's going to be in March. Speaking about mentorship and the work that the Sophia Project has been doing to the community with uplifting young women, specifically Black women, how does that mean to you?
Oh my God, it's an honor to be recognized for something that I'm so passionate about. The Sophia Project is I read up on it. I'm just very impressed with the organization and what it's seeking to do. I grew up in the city of Chicago, and there was a community center around the corner from my house. And the lady that ran that community center, she kind of took a liking to me, and she kind of poured into me, and she made sure that she was the one that made sure I got to SIU. Like, I was accepted, but I didn't really have a way to get down here. And she hired two of her employees to drive me down here to make sure that I got here. And from what she poured into me and the things that that center did for me is what's driven me, right? And though I'm not in Chicago, I'm here, and I pour into the community that is Purina. I pour into my church. My husband and I, we facilitate financial peace. We coach couples on, we coach and mentor couples on finances. And so it's an honor to be recognized for doing something that I feel like is my calling to do.
How do you define being crowned and confident, both personally and professionally?
I define being crowned and confident. I look at confidence as, for me, and I've always gotten kind of feedback on that, as like I'm just very even keel. You know what I mean? I am cool headed, right? So to me, because I may look confident, but I may not
Right.
always feel confident. But on the outside, my confidence, I appear confident because I'm cool headed, right? So to me, no matter what's brought my way, my confidence shows because I keep that cool head, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like my confidence comes from. I tell people that, you pay attention, utilize the resources that you have. And so in my career, and I built my confidence, is I wanted to make sure that I was the subject matter expert, right? I wanted to utilize all the resources that I had
Right.
to make sure, like, and I'm not saying that you have to have all the answers, because in confidence you can confidently say, I don't know, but I can get you the answer, or I don't know, but I can find out for you, right?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but for me, that's what that confidence is. It's, you don't have to show people that you're afraid, or you're you don't know
Hmm.
and you panic. It's keeping that cool head.
Yeah. When I think about being confident for me, I think about my past and everything that I've been through. I didn't grow up in an easy household. I grew up in a broken household. Thinking about all the, I would say, trials that I had to get through to get to who I am today as an individual at one of
Yeah.
the great universities. Like, I come from Riverview Gardens. Riverview Gardens is a provincially accredited school district here in St. Louis, Missouri. This is a community of poverty, a low attendance score. 100% of students are eligible for free reduced lunches. So we're speaking about this community that has been consumed with crimes and violences and the stereotypes that they put on students about this when they get this certain age, they're going to be dead or they're going to be in prison. And I always had to figure out how can I, step above that? How can I not allow the odds to define who I am? I've always told myself God will never put you in any room that He doesn't want you to be in,
Hmm.
and that if I was meant to be in this space, I will be in this space. And I just tell Him to just give me the discernment that I need to continue to grow as a young Black woman in society. And I've literally let that been my motto. I said in my last podcast episode is bringing that folding chair, as late great Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm says. I want to make sure that I'm bringing that folding chair to every table that I am stepping in, representing, and being a part of that decision making process, whatever that is. So confidence for me is being that humble servant and never forgetting where I come from. And I think that's when you get that crowd, in a
Yeah,
sense.
and I think, and I agree 1,000%, for me, confidence, particularly in corporate, there's not a lot of people that look like me in my position at Purina, right? And so that fear that I may not, speak the same, or, that kind of stuff. I think what got me so far is like you said, prayer. You mentioned God, but I tell you, working in corporate as an African American woman that wants to be more than just a seat filler, you cannot
Mhm.
do that without the prayer and the confidence of God's word that Like you said, he's not gonna put me anywhere that I'm not supposed to be. And I spend time daily reading his word, rebuilding my confidence. Because sometimes it gets shaken, when a lot of things change and your foundation shakes a little bit. And I'm everywhere that I'm where I'm supposed to be because God put me here.
Amen.
And that builds my confidence as well.
Yes. Do you have any advice for any young women who are striving to find their voice in their power?
Yes. So the advice I would say is spend time getting to know who you are. Self-awareness is key. We have to
Yeah.
take an honest assessment of what are our strengths. And this is what I mentor a lot on. Do you know what your strengths are? Do you know what your opportunities are? Like we can fluff it, but we gotta really look at that for ourselves because this world will have you thinking that you're too much of this and you're not good enough for that. And it will get in your head if you are not aware of who you are and what you bring to the table. And I would tell them to surround themselves with people that openly and loudly cheer for them, right? People that's going to be honest with them. So have their back, but be honest with them. And then I would say, I've done this because I found myself spinning, for my first 5 years, I had to ask a really good friend, what do you think I bring to, what do you see? Because I was listening to so much noise about I wasn't this and I wasn't that. What do you see? What are my opportunities? And I asked three people that I trust that I worked with, and their feedback helped me get my head together and realize that, people were in my head. I'm not, I'm doing what I need to be doing. And then they also gave me some feedback of things that I can work on. So, self-awareness and surrounding yourself with the people that is gonna push you, challenge you, but have your back. And and
Mm,
and then the third thing is keep your eyes on your own paper. Don't look to the left or to the right. Don't compare yourself with anybody else.
yes. That is a good piece of advice. Have you ever felt that you were experiencing imposter syndrome? Are you familiar with that term?
Every day. Every
Mm,
day. Every day as a director at Purina, every day.
yeah.
But
I
I
know for
keep
me,
going.
yeah, yeah, that's a tough one to ask people because it's like you know that you are gifted for something, but you still have that internal feeling like, oh my God, you choose me to represent these people, or you
Yeah.
choose me to stand before all and motivate and inspire, and I still go through my own struggles. How do I persevere through that?
Every day. I prayerful. I recognize the tricks of the enemy. I don't let it get too far because here's the thing. I'm not a director because I ran after being a director. I
Mm,
did the job that God gifted me to do, and I did it well. And this role, I was promoted to this role very unexpectedly, right? So that's also part of what of that whole imposter syndrome and I'm like, no, I didn't put me here. God put me here. This
right.
was never on my bingo card, right? But God put me here, and so that's what keeps me going.
Yeah. Do you have any projects or initiatives that you are working on in the current moment?
Well, so the mentoring program that I have at Purina, Aiming to Achieve, it was for specifically people of color. And Purina allowed me to specifically say this is targeted for people of color. So as you know, the climate has changed. And so I've been working with our legal team. They don't want to get rid of the program. They see the value in it. They keep track of how many promote out of that program that I do. But the project is trying to make it work now because I now have to open it up and I still need to keep it. I need to keep it to the original, goal of it. So that's been a project that I've been working on for over a year. We didn't do Aim to Achieve last year because of it, but now with the new changes for DNI, I'm trying to keep it. I'm keeping it alive, but I still want to make it very effective to the people that it was originally created for.
Times like this, we are constantly reminded of why we need these programs in place to continue to motivate and uplift us and
Yeah.
bridge that gap.
Yes.
Yes. I also wanted to ask you, do you have any mentors or an inspiration who has personally influenced you in the work that you have been doing in the community?
Yeah, I learned a couple things about myself. So the mentor that people that love me know about is the Mrs. Coleman, the lady that ran the community center in Chicago. This lady would put me in positions where I had to step up, right? And when I would come home for the summer, she would drop me she had me running like a teen conference, right? And so her passion for the people in the community she's the one that changed my life. And so along the way, I feel like the mentors that I have were my peers. As I give the advice, I surrounded myself with strong women, not necessarily just African American women, but we kind of sharpen the saw for each other. You know what I mean? Are you familiar with that term, sharpen the saw? Like we kind of kept each other going and challenged each other. I never had a formal mentor in my career. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think my peers, I had like three or four really close peers that we all kind of wanted excellence, and we kind of mentored each other.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. We
Yeah.
learn from each other. I
Yeah.
even tell adults have told me sometimes students or like teachers, in classrooms,
Mhm.
students can be the best teachers, and I
Mhm.
think about adults and their children. Children could be their mothers or fathers or guardians, teachers in a sense. So we're
Yeah.
all learning from each other and growing each and every day.
Yeah.
How do you see the future for women empowerment in a time like this?
Well, I feel like um the focus is women right now. Well, we got a little a little challenge right here, but the focus has been women. I think women will continue to grow. I mean, Purina has a female CEO. She's been in place, I think, since 2020. You know what I mean? So they're making room for us. They're making room for us. I would like to see more women leaders mentor and coach upcoming women. That's what I would really like to see. Encourage, intentionally reach out.
Yeah. That's great. I had a lot of women in my life who personally motivated me, and some of those mentors that I had turned into family. And I think that was so beauty. And what also saved me in my mid adolescence was having women that were empowering, were encouraging me, were telling me things that I didn't want to hear, but that I needed to hear, but
Yes.
still kept me on my track.
Yes.
As young people, we can fall down the cracks sometimes, and I always try to let a lot of young people know that get you somebody to just help you and to motivate you and inspire you and tell you the things that is going to lead you into a direction that you thought you would never be able to go down.
Yeah. Be willing to listen to them, right?
Yes.
That part.
So, as we wrap up our conversation today, I always ask some rapid fire questions. This is
Okay.
just a great way to get to know who you are and also some fun facts. So, my first question, I'm going to ask you like five different questions, but it's going to be like really quick. So, like, are you a morning person or a night person?
Morning person.
Favorite movie?
So okay, I'm gonna say Love Jones.
I have not watched that yet, and I
Oh
keep
my
telling everybody
God,
I
girl.
am going to watch it.
You
I
gotta
am going to
watch it.
watch it. I
I mean,
know,
it's
I
a
know.
romantic movie. I'm a hopeless romantic. So yeah, I love Jones.
Have to watch it. I tell all my friends, I'm like, I gotta watch Love Jones. Everyone talks about it, but I never watched. I watched everything else
Yeah, you
but
gotta
Love
watch
Jones.
it. Yes, you gotta watch
Okay,
it.
this is my confirmation. This is my confirmation. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Dream vacation spot.
Anywhere there is a beach and warm weather.
That's right. Favorite song?
Um, So Mary Mary, you ever heard of Mary Mary?
Yes, of
Go
course,
get
Erica.
it.
And
Mary Mary's Go Get It. Go get your blessing.
okay, that's a good motivational song.
Yes,
I love
yes.
that. My favorite song by Tina Campbell is "Thank You, Lord." I
Mm-hmm.
love that song.
Yep.
Yes, or Erica. It would probably be "Help." I love "Help" by Erica Campbell.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm a big gospel. I love all my gospel music.
I am still like a Mary fan. I like actually liked I Love God by Erica Campbell.
I was thinking that that's a good one.
I actually like that one, but I'm a Mary fan. I still like them together.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one. One word that describes your leadership style.
I would say transparent. I'm a
Mm,
very transparent leader. I have very tough, transparent conversations if I need to have them. Very honest, and people respect that.
yeah, and being authentic. You
Hmm.
never know what doors that you open or lives that you can save by being your authentic self and opening up of who you are as an individual. I really felt with that way. That's how I describe who I am as a leader is transparent. So you actually use my word that I am as a leadership and that my style is. So I thank you so much for coming on the show. Well, we thank you as the Sophia Project. You have been an amazing asset in the
Thank
community. You're
you.
doing so much amazing work. We
Thank
hope
you.
for the best for you. And we're going to manifest that you have that doctorate in front of your name and,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
going to do all the amazing work. So I just want to say keep going. We thank you for coming on. And we just can't wait to see what the future has in store for you.
Amen. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.